How's it going, everyone? There's Nothing Excess. I kind of want to make a video for you guys that wanted to learn how to make Cuban coffee. It's really Miami-style Cuban office coffee, which is kind of like the kind of coffee that we would make kind of like in the middle of the day after an early morning of work, and we start to feel a little tired, in the middle of the day. So to start off, you're going to need a mocha pot, which is this little device that I have here. There's also some that you can find that are similar to these. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them at your local grocery store, maybe, but check them out. The other thing you're going to need is espresso. You're going to need either one of the three major brands of Cuban Latino style espresso, which are Pilon, Bustelo, or La Llave. And we're going to put the espresso in here. We're going to fill up our mocha pot to about this much, right? You just want to make sure that it's packed enough. I may have put a little bit, maybe not enough grounds here, but just want to make sure you want to fill it up and pack it slightly tightly. Then into the mocha pot at the bottom, this one, which is quite large, will take a whole cup. Yours may need less depending on the size, but 1 cup of water is roughly what they all need. You want to make sure that the filter doesn't end up like settling on it. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put the top of our mocha pot / percolator together, and we're gonna go ahead and tighten it up. After that, you're gonna want to put it, and you want to start boiling it. So just go ahead and find an available burner, preferably one that gets really hot really fast, so that you can get this done sooner. And I feel that it's probably best when the coffee goes as fast as possible. So now we have it here. We're gonna be basically just heating this up. Give it a little bit of time. You want to make sure that you have your sugar on hand, because Cuban coffee does need a lot of sugar. And as you see inside here in our percolator, when it starts finishing up, you'll see the coffee sort of come out through the top of the percolator once it starts to finish up. In the meantime, we're gonna go check on our cat Mona, who has been fiending for food for so long. She's a good cat. Quarantine cat is a good cat. Make sure you take care of your pets, everybody, while you're stuck at home in a boring quarantine. Isn't she cute? Anyway, our coffee's starting to get a little spicy here. It's starting to get a little warm. We start hearing the water bubbling over, so now's a good time as any to put some sugar aside. Plain old white sugar will be fine. You're gonna need some kind of like a mug or a cup. You can use like a measuring cup, or you can use one of these. At Combo Burger, we use a measuring cup. I realized that I was probably better off measuring the amount of coffee that I wanted. You want a sturdy metal spoon, like the kind that you would normally use in your kitchenware. You want to maybe use 2 full teaspoons of this, and you kind of want to like make them really heaping. It's not an accurate measurement. You'll figure out how much coffee you like after making it a couple times. How much sugar you'd like. And just go ahead, fill it up, and make sure you got it down there. Because once your coffee starts to come out, you're going to be mixing a little bit of that coffee, like a tiny drizzle of that coffee in, right? You see here, we're starting to get some coffee. It's starting to come right through. Nice. You're going to be taking a tiny amount of that, right? Now that it's really going and the coffee is basically finished and none of it's coming out and we're starting to get a little foam, close it, take it off of the heat, turn the heat off. And then we're going to get like a little bit. I probably overdid it here, and later I had to add a little bit more sugar, but you want a little bit under the teaspoon worth of coffee, and you want to put it on top. And that's going to you're going to have very little coffee to a lot of sugar, and that's fine. You're just going to go in there, start beating the crap out of it. And the goal is that you're trying to create like this thick sugar paste. And I really do mean beat it, by the way. You got to get in there. You're going to whisk the hell out of it, okay? Just keep going. Eventually, you're going to wind up with like a sugar paste. It's kind of clumpy. When you get that, you add like a couple drops of coffee, maybe like a little tiny drizzle. And you're going to go back to doing it. Just a scooch. And you go back in there and you whip the hell out of it again. And you're going to continue to whip this until you get like a smooth, I want to call it like a creamy sugar coffee paste. Once you get it to like that consistency, and I'll show it here one more time, and I just want to stress how much you do have to whip it, but as you can see, it's starting to turn into like right? Like a viscous sugar liquid. And you have to get in there. It's a lot of effort. You feel like in the beginning, oh no, it's not that much, but you really do have to whip the heck out of it. You have to make sure to scrape off the sides. Don't let any sugar sort of sit there. And eventually, after a little bit, and maybe you have to add like a little tiny bit of sugar more, you're gonna end up with this creamy white concoction. And that's gonna actually create foam for our coffee. Even if we didn't have an espresso machine, even if we had to use a mocha pot, we'll end up with like a layer of foam, which is not the kind of foam that you would get out of creating pressure with coffee. It's really just like this overwhelmingly sweet, candy-like substance that is what makes Cuban office coffee like the best. Anyway, you want to get all that stuff off of your spoon so that it can get in there, and then you want to slowly pour it in until you fill it up. If you ended up making a lot of sugar, maybe you want to dilute this a little bit more after you're done making it by moving this mixture to a larger container and then adding a little bit more coffee there. But the goal is to get this really, really, really creamy white foam on top. Once you get that creamy white foam on top, you know, just go get your coffee cups. Usually you're supposed to use like these tiny little cups that you share with people in the office, but here we have these Marlins cups that, I don't know, we got them in probably some giveaway for the Marlins, and you don't have to pour a whole lot. This is very intense and very sweet, so you don't need a lot of it to really pick you up. I made this video, or like I recorded this like 2 hours ago, and just that much that you see in there was enough to like completely wake me up from then until now. And as you can see, your first pour is going to have the great foam, and the second one maybe not so great. But anyway, yeah, shout outs to the Miami Marlins and Leon Medical Center for these cups, and have your cup of coffee.